as several men loaded chairs into a truck bed. We veered into an alley and abruptly came to a stop. Passing a corridor, we climbed a flight of stairs as Rand grabbed the key from underneath the carpet. Within the living room, a painting inscribed, "The Port of Tangiers," hung on the wall. The canvas depicted silk-robed traders haggling at a seaside bazaar. Pointing at the picture, he asked, "Do you like that? My grandfather brought that with him from Morocco. I was born here, but my mom came when she was a teenager." Off in the distance, the phone began to ring. He ran quickly and excused himself. As I walked and wandered about the room, I noticed a miniature drum bejeweled in green quartz stones was tucked behind a chair. On its sides were engravings of a white elephant marching. I slid it out and began to tap it gently. The more I held it, the more I couldn't help myself. Eventually, the drum got the better of me, and I began to beat it furiously. A woman wearing an ivory necklace appeared across the room just as I was tapping at the drums. I stood kind of shocked and embarrassed by what I had been doing. "You must be Ron's American friend, the one he met in Tel Aviv?" Her voice rose barely above a whisper. "You want something to eat or drink?" she asked, her silky eyes shone as she gave a motherly smile. "You want? I make, no problem. Wait just a second, I'll be back with a plate for you." I emphatically begged her no, but she kept on insisting, "I'll bring you back some food." I begged her, "I'm okay, I'm full," but she kept on insisting, "I will bring you back some food." As she went into the kitchen and pulled out a tray, Ron appeared. "The curse of the Moroccan woman," he said. "They pamper men to the point of you becoming weak." A true quote. I pushed the plate away. I couldn't eat another bite after taking 2 small gobs of hummus. That was it. I couldn't touch anymore. A short while later, we were inside the car, heading towards his grandmother's house. Once in the car, I'm sorry, I'm skipping around. I don't want to read too much into it because there's a lot of dialogue and it's kind of he said, she said. I don't want to do that too much. Let's see. Let me skip a little bit further to the most. Hold on one second. As we actually approached the Sukkot, because we attended the Sukkot at his grandfather's house. And we after spending a little bit of time getting to know his mother and getting to know his sister, we had approached Ron's grandmother's house, which was not too far away, just a short distance. But this is the part which really caught me from my experience in the car. As I exited the car towards his grandfather's home, a curious thumping came from deep within the walls. A boisterous ramping of chimes and desert drums. The drums beat, blew, and scattered the air in the solace of night, pounding and fetching the breath from my soul. Tribal drums carried faster in an infectious cadence. The wind bled for the desert. Tam-tam sprang, locked in an ancient tune. Aged voices rose out from the silence and crawled into our hearts. They sang old songs of Morocco. Mon pays, Maghrib, Aywa, Raki, Mon Raki, Zua, Aliman, Dagutan, Bahoin. Hauntingly beautiful notes echoed from the canopy. Barren voices fought the tranquility. We slowly approached the tent. We had been there but a minute, but were already in the midst of the celebration. Tired, weary faces were lined around an oval-shaped table. Citrus fruit and several tree branches were lined along the table center. Tam-tams were pounded as yarmulkes bobbed from either side of the room. From the traditional to the modern, the young to the old, we were in fellowship. When the drums went silent, the rhythm reverberated. Welcome, welcome, a man shouted. His red leathery hands reached out to Ron. My boy, we've been waiting for you all. Saba, how are you? He shouted. A plate of dates and olives were placed on a white dinner table in front of us. A small boy played a flute as his baby sister danced in her chair. Bring them water so they can wash their hands, Ron's grandfather said. Ron's mother and sister moved to the far end by several other women. I sat next to a young boy who gleamed at the mere mention of America. The younger children took turns drumming as their fathers and uncles had. Ron's grandfather pulled up a chair and sat alongside of me. So, my boy, do you like Israel? With a hearty tone, yes, I replied. I'm here since 1957. I came a boy from Safi. I sit here in Ramat Aviv and I remember the waves along the sea, and I remember throwing stones with the Arab boys. Our synagogue was next to their mosque. But now, who knows, Saba said, Ron's grandfather. In America, things are different, I told him. He interrupted. You see, when Morocco gained independence, everything changed. Arabic law, Arabic rules, no more unity, no more separation. I remember a time when we were all together. My brothers and I, we all came together. We all came to Israel. It's good you like this country, my boy. There's much to like here. Welcome. A woman in a dark shawl placed a mound of hummus and pine nuts in between Ron and I. At the meal's conclusion, the table was cleared and the tam-tams beat once more. Saba raised a glass of wine and toasted. From heart to heart, sweet voices sang late into the evening. A bottle of Amazir Benai Michter, I'm pronouncing this completely wrong, but I was told this is what it was. A bottle of Amazir Benai, would you please tell me? I can't even pronounce it, it's a purple. It's a wine. I was told that's what it was. It was emptied. All the children were carted off. Men drowsily dipped in their chairs and slumped. Each plate was swiped with pita bread as we talked late into the evening. As we raised from our chairs, the pulsating rhythm remained. I felt only warmth for what had transpired. And that's, yes, Night of the Morrocans. I kind of paraphrased and took a lot of things out of context because it's really hard to, do the whole dialogue back and forth. That's what I wanted to share with you out here. Any questions?